Hey guys, my name is Westen. Welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing today? And you know what? It's America's birthday. And I think it's going to be the birthday of our Cummins because it should run by the end of the day. Now, I have been... My cameraman moved on me. Can you believe that? What are you doing? Okay. Stop moving! So guys, today we are going to work on the Cummins. We haven't got a lot done on it, and the reason for that is we have been out of town picking up our newest project, which I am absolutely stoked about. I've never been this excited about a car, or a truck, or tractor, or traco, whatever it might be. It's a surprise for you guys. So if you're excited to see our new project, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're not excited, hit that subscribe button anyway, because we know you're going to want to see it. I mean, it's obvious. But that's not what this video is about. I'll tell you guys about that in the future. This video is about this truck. It is America's birthday today. It might as well be this truck's birthday too. So we're going to work on it for a couple hours and get some of the small stuff done. And then we kind of got a little bit of a 4th of July party going on. So we're going to clean up the garage a little bit. I'm going to pull my table in here. We got an outdoor table and our grill. And we're going to have a little bit of a barbecue. We got some family coming over. We're going to do all that kind of cool stuff. We're going to eat, watch fireworks, and then after that, we're going to get back to working on this. And that is the goal for today, that we get this thing running before the end of 4th of July. So everybody around the United States will be celebrating Cummins. All right, let's get something done. So, as you guys might know, it is hot here in Kansas, extremely hot. And this fan was just not really cutting it. So we went and spent a little bit of money, hopefully for our good coolness, because it has been hotter than the devil's sauna out here. And we got us a Porta-Cool, which is evaporative water cooler, swamp cooler. And I've never had one of these things. I've always seen them at fairs or at other people's shops because they got more money than I do. I finally decided that I needed one. Actually, yeah, my brother decided we needed one, and I just didn't argue with him. So we're going to take it out of the box, put some water in it, and see if it works. Hopefully it does. My hair is whipping in the wind from my Porta-Cool. It's cool again. Oh God, this thing is nice. You know what, we have been battling. Let me turn this down. This will be the real test of how good we can record around it. We've been battling heat in this garage all summer. I mean, it's been ridiculously hot out. This is like a baking oven because I had a thermometer, like a little laser pointer thermometer. That roof would get 115 degrees some days. And we haven't even really hit the hot season yet. It's got up to 90, 95, but it has just been miserable. And this, I've always seen everybody else have Porta-Cools, and I wanted one of the big ones, but I thought one of the big ones would make too much noise and they were too much money. I think these something's got a lot of grease in them.
Yeah, they do.
From all the bacon. There's hotter than Beyonce in a bikini. All right, so our barbecue is over. As you can tell, we still need to move our table out and our barbecuer, but we might have more food we want to cook tonight, so we haven't decided to move it out yet. Now here comes down to the treat. Now this is the part of the truck I was actually a little bit concerned about. Wiring is not my strongest suit. I can get wiring put together enough just to make stuff work, but it's not my favorite thing to do. So I sent this wiring harness off to DCS up there, and they made this thing look like we almost knew what we was doing. Like everything is marked. This just plugs right into the PCM. There is only one wire, this one right here, that I have to wire in. That's the only thing I got to do. Everything else is plug and play right up to our swap helper, coolant, AC, PCM, all kinds of stuff. So all of this should plug in. We are going to have to rob some of our sensors off of our 6.4 because we want the boost gauge on the dash to work, and we also want coolant, oil pressure, oil temperature, all that stuff to work as well. So we're going to have to figure out what sensors we need to grab off that and make sure that we have all of them sensors because we might not have them. And I'm going to start throwing the wiring harness on because I think it'll be easier to put the wiring harness on while we still have the radiator out of the way. I took it back out because our fan pulley is not exactly right, and I need to get a new fan pulley as well. So let's grab the wiring harness and take it over here and get started. This flips open like that. Yep, exactly. All right, let's lay our wiring harness up here and see how things fit. You getting a shot?
Yeah, we're getting something, all right.
All right, that should plug in right there and snap in. That is plugged in. Okay, that's awesome. Now this stuff here we're gonna have to mount because this is actually our fuel relay. They actually wired in. Let me see where it's at. Oh, this is awesome because we didn't have to mess with any of this. They wired in a plug-in for our fuel relay, so all we got to do for our fuel solenoid is just plug it right in. We don't got to do nothing. We do have to find a place to hook all these grounds. This here will go down to our starter, and now it's just hooking all this stuff up and figuring out where to mount all this. Now, before we go ahead and get the radiator and everything in the way, I think we're going to try to get everything plugged in, see how the electrics are working on it. That way we can make sure we got plenty of room if we need to change around sensors or move around anything like that. So let's get started on that. And I will probably start it up with no radiator in front of it and just see how it works, make sure everything's working all right. And I still got to get down there and put a drain plug in the oil pan, which that ain't no big deal, and fill it back up with oil. There was a lot of you guys that was wondering in the comment section, that is a genuine Cummins oil pan. You're right, it does have paint on the inside of it, and if it was an aftermarket deal, I would definitely not use it. But it's a genuine Cummins oil pan, so I'm not worried about it. But good eye, guys. All right, let's do this. All right, so this is our swap helper. Now, I don't think we're gonna need all this wiring harness because I think that the guys up at DCS done most of the wiring for us. Because if I was looking right, this is the adapter for the end. And booyah. And oh, I guess it snapped. Booyah. Now we just find a place to mount it, like right up there. That looks pretty good. We want it someplace where it's not going to get real hot. I mean, it can live with a little bit of heat, but we don't want it where it's not going to get hot and it's not going to get wet. And right there is a pretty good place because take in mind our battery box is going to be right here. Our degas bottle is going to be right here. And if we have any issues, the wiring will be right back here where it's not in the way. And we can tuck the wiring up underneath the firewall. So I think that's where we're going to mount that. For right now, we'll just lay that over there. Let's figure out where this stuff goes. This stuff, I think they've wired this stuff. What's this? TMP. Coolant temp. Okay, that's cool. We've got most of it wired, and I guess we can say we kind of failed a little bit. It's 1:30 in the morning, July 5th, so we're not going to get it started on America's birthday. But to be fair, everything is done. We could probably throw a battery in it and turn the key and start it right now, but I'm too tired to mess with it, and I just want to go home and take a bath. It's been a long day. I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. So it is the next day. We are back fresh and, I don't know, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And last night we got a lot done, and it doesn't look like it because, you know, it really doesn't show, but a lot of the wiring is all finished up. We've got a tachometer sensor wired up, a coolant sensor. We got another coolant sensor, or a temperature sensor we got to put in on the back of the motor real quick. I had to run down and get some fittings for that. Alternator. Air conditioner compressor. We got to wait for the AC switch. We had to wire in power to the PCM from that other plug-in right up there, and we also mounted our relays and our fuses for our fuel solenoid shutoff. We also got our swap helper hooked up. It's just laying up here. I have not screwed it to the firewall, but I'm going to take and self-tapping screw that to the firewall so we don't get no problems there. Basically, we got it pretty much to the point where we can fire it up. We can start it. The fuel lines are hooked up. There shouldn't be nothing keeping it from running at this point. But before we get too far, I want to take and try to fire this thing up because I want to make sure all of our wiring is together and we don't have no problems there. That way if we got any issues with any of that, we can take and fix it before we have to put the radiators and pull the radiators back out because there's something down on the side of the motor or something. So let's make sure all that works. Let's try to get it started. If it'll fire up, then we'll go ahead and put the radiators in, try to hook up all that stuff, and we'll take it for a drive. We got a battery. I think we should only need one. These Cummins don't take a whole lot of power to get turned over. Perfect. Now this is the first time I've actually ever hooked power to this truck. So hopefully it doesn't catch fire and burn down. Alright, let me see. Turn key off. Ooh boy! Turn key on. Turn it off. Oh yeah, okay, that's gonna work. Alright, try it again. It runs! Oh my god! It sounds so mean! And it shuts off! Okay, we've got a leak. Okay, we've got a lot of leak. You know what? We dumped oil all over the ground. We dumped stuff all over the ground there, but I don't even care. It runs! Garrett, it runs! Did you hear it? This Ford makes Cummins noises. Yeah, we did dump oil all over the ground. This was our old oil pressure line, and I figured I'd leave it off just so we could know if we had oil pressure right away. Did you notice if the tach moved? All right, so we got to fire it up now. Our tachometer sensor's not working for some reason, which I don't know what that is. Maybe we got too big a gap in between the... Anyway, so we do have a couple of leaks. This one here is just from this oil pressure line. The oil pressure sending unit for the F700 was up on the firewall, and I got to get this line off and cap that line. Besides for that, we do have a fuel leak over here on the fuel return. It looks like it was kinked a little bit and it kind of broke that line open. So kind of leaked a little bit down there. And then when it fired up, the transmission built a little bit of pressure and blew tranny fluid everywhere. So that's just called a high pressure transmission flush. Is that what that is? It looks like I've just been messing around. And this is a Westen Tech tip for you guys. Don't make a very big list or it just gets depressing. So you just make one that's got like 8 or 9 things on them. When you get that done, make a new list. We haven't got that list done yet, so it's kind of getting depressing. We did run into an issue, and what that is without even thinking, I took and set the air gap on the crank sensor with steel feeler gauges, which is a big no-no, I guess, because I think I messed that sensor up because now we're not getting any signal from the sensor to our swap helper. Now I've taken this apart, everything's powering up on this little box like it's supposed to, but we're just not receiving any signal from the sensor to the box. And then I took, and just to make sure there was no problem inside the wiring harness, checked ohms, all the ohms were good, but the sensor did not ohm out right. So I gotta get a new sensor tomorrow. Kind of means we ain't gonna get it to run. Anyway, a lot of you might be asking, why isn't the radiator in here? And the main reason for the radiator not being in here is just for reasons like this. If this sensor's bad, it's no problem to swap out right now. It's just 2 bolts and I just stand right here in front of the motor and do it. If the radiator and the intercooler and the AC condenser and all that stuff's up here, I gotta lean over the front, take the fan off, get down there, get it pulled out, route the wires again. It's just a lot bigger pain. So I want to take and make sure that we get all of our wiring working like it's supposed to before we take and put the radiators in for good. And then once we get them in for good, we can get our intercooler tubes, our radiator hoses, power steering, throttle, and this thing is ready to drive. I guess that's the end of the video. Next time, it should be running and driving under its own power until we figure out the transmission's bad, which, if that's the case, then we'll deal with that when it gets there. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. Beyonce is calling because she knows it's the end of the video and she is P-I-S-S-E-D about it. Anyway, she's like, Weston, you didn't even get that Cummins rolling out of the shop under its own power? I know, sweetheart. It's okay, though. So, next time, you should see it rolling, you should see it running, and I've got about a 50% guarantee that Bob won't be pushing it. Bob, I guarantee this, Bob won't push it out. Bob might push it back in after we take it down the road and break something, but Bob won't push it out. So, hit that like button if you like the video. Comment down below what you think of our red Cummins, or should I call it Fummins or Super D? I don't know. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we've got plenty of new projects coming, and one that I am really excited about. It's a surprise, but if you're excited, subscribe. If you're not excited, still subscribe. And just make sure that y'all subscribe. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Or we'll see you guys whenever we make another video.